This is GoCube, the next generation of cubes. It's like if a cube and a dragon had a baby.
Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hey, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John. I am a GenXGrownUp. Thanks for checking out this video and the channel. Today we're taking a look at a really interesting Kickstarter campaign that we spotted maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so ago. We were at a convention actually, browsing some news, and we've been talking about a lot of twisty puzzles and twisty cubes, and in my news feed popped up this technologically advanced Rubik's Cube called the GoCube. I backed it right away. I sent the link to George. He couldn't help but back it right away on the next podcast. Mo backed it as well. We're really interested. We reached out to the team working on the GoCube. So joining me right now via Skype is Udi Dor, one of the guys working on the GoCube. Udi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, John. How are you?
Great. Hey, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. We're all excited about the GoCube. It's right up our alley as Gen X grown-ups. We look at technology from yesterday and today through the eyes of guys like us. Were the guys on your team alive when the Rubik's Cube first came out?
You can probably see my gray hair, so I was.
You were? Okay. Same here.
Yeah, part of my team were, but part of them are just head of it. You know, I think in the last 10 years, it really regained lots of popularity.
Maybe not at all, but how surprised were you with the success of your Kickstarter campaign?
We really hoped, so we were surprised. We really hoped that it would go that way. Really ramped up and started very nicely. And
it's still going strong.
We were very happy with that.
So I mentioned, Udi, that we're all sold. We've already backed the GoCube. But I'm curious to know, what inspired you to take what is probably one of the most iconic analog toys of our era and pack it full of technology?
I think the idea popped up just when we said several guys, several friends. One of us is really a master with a cube. Mm-hmm. And we just raised the question, you know, how cool would it be if a cube could actually be like GoCube. But we found so many places in the web which actually thought about it before us, and people actually talked about that and tried to do this kind of thing. So I would love to say it was an original idea, but the idea was there already.
But from looking at the video and following it, and the reason I backed it, there's clearly a lot of tech in there. Some magnets, some accelerometers, some. Right. What kind of tech is being packed into this cube?
So there are all kind of sensors inside to track all the rotation. As you mentioned, there's an IMU sensors. There's a processor to take all this information and pack it and crunch the information. Bluetooth, rechargeable, Bluetooth 5, rechargeable battery. Wow. All that actually goes to the mobile phone in real time. And over there's also lots of 3D graphics going on. Mm-hmm. Real-time communication through the web.
So with all this tech packed in there, I mean, what would you say are the biggest challenges you face technologically into getting all that packed into that little package?
The answer to that is in the question. So how to put so much technology inside such a small package. That was the main challenge there. One, the first thing is everything is rotating. So you have to somehow find a way to put
there it is.
Inside.
There it is. I can't wait to get mine. Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
So the first thing was how to put everything inside and how to connect it, because everything is rotating. So, you know, how to put electronic in all moving parts, mechanic creature. And the other thing, I guess you had a chance to disassemble it, so you know how little space in there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Leaves no much room to do anything. Also for batteries, so then you have to make everything very ultra low power. And the bottom line, to make it affordable.
I can't imagine the challenge that you faced, and you came with a pretty decent price point as well. So what about the application itself? I know there is a phone or tablet app that goes a companion to the Cube. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
The idea was to have something for everyone. This is actually the gateway. It gets all the information from the Cube in real time. So while you are playing, it collects all the information, statistics, it makes the analysis. And then it can show you, how to get improved, your daily progress. So you can analyze and get and level up your game. But this is for those guys who already know how to play and how to solve it. So there's a nice part in the cube that will teach people how to play it and how to solve it. It's supposed to take this very complex puzzle or riddle and break it into little mini steps and provide you some intuition and through interactive guide, provide you the way of how to solve it.
Which is the way you learn how to solve the cube, right? People approach the cube and they think it's this giant thing, but it's a dozen little pieces, little steps. You know,
Exactly.
do this part,
Right.
do this part, do this part, and you're doing the same
Right.
thing.
Then you're trying to follow the guy on the YouTube, which has a very different scrambling or state than yours.
Right. Oh, that's a good point.
And it's really difficult to track what he's doing. And if I miss a single step,
Yep,
then I have
done.
to go done. Exactly, done.
But in the app, it's tracking exactly what your cube is tracking. It's identical.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, you've added a competitive element in the GoCube. Now, we've always been kind of competitive with all the people who are cubers, you know, how fast can you do it, or can you do it blindfolded, do it behind your back,
Right.
or whatever. But
Yeah.
you've added like a real, you know, apples to apples, level playing field competition with this, right? Tell me about that.
So I think it's really fun. You know, people today are fighting in their own times. Or if they want to battle or to rank themselves, they have to go to one of the formal competition, which happens rarely. And the idea is to make it kind of a sport, kind of a league. So you can play with your friends, either in your family or class. Your cube is knowing its own state, and my cube know my own state, and everything is known by the shared cloud. So if I invite you to make a match, both get a unique sequence of moves to put us on the same state exactly. So we start from the same state, and then we can have a fair match.
It gives you a scramble so that you're both in the exact same state, and then it starts the match.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
exactly.
cool. That's cool. That's a great idea. I mean, all three of us here at GenXGrownUp, we're all going to have one. I'm going to win, but we'll all have competitions, even though I'm going to win. Rubik's Cube, obviously the direct influence for the GoCube. There's no question there. We're just kind of curious, are there any other American kind of 80s toys or anything that influenced your love for the Rubik's Cube that kind of moved you into the GoCube?
We love Rubik's Cube. We love so many games, as you mentioned. So you know, similar to you, I'm a kid which refused to grow up, and we just love the idea that our work is to make toys or to make games.
Udi, it sounds like you're a fellow GenXGrownUp. You have refused to outgrow the things that society says you shouldn't play with anymore, and we don't either.
Exactly. Right.
So I saw it has a light inside.
Yeah. Oh, not this version, unfortunately.
Okay.
This is one of the prototypes.
Why the light? Is that just to play it in the dark? I looked like in the video it lit up when you solved it sometimes, or?
You saw we really made lots of changes to the design. The idea was that the cube will tell about itself that I'm special, and I'm you know, the kind of techie look. When we spoke with the designer, we asked him to make something which will look like Apple-ish. Like the way that Apple always go with a very nice, clean lines, doing everything very gentle, but not too much noisy, very nice curves. It was really complicated challenge for the designer to come up with ideas for a cube. Eventually, it's a cube.
It's just a box, right? It's like, how do you make that? How do you make the design clean and aesthetic and sharp and yeah?
So the idea of the light was to provide some kind of indication. So when you connect to the Bluetooth, you get some kind of indication.
Oh, okay.
When you finish, you get indication. If you have a battle with two people, so the one who won can get the light. So this is the main menu. Can you see it?
Again, yeah.
Okay. So this is just a very quick, overview of what we have over there. The idea is to have the learn. So the idea is to can have games. So anyone can actually enjoy the cube, even if they don't know the algorithm of how to solve it. So for the games, there are all kinds of things like to draw stuff, or just a memory game. Cube Hero is just like Guitar Hero, but instead of guitar, you can actually play everything with the cube. So, for example, over here, the idea is to play memory game. So the idea, this is like a summon, and you can right now learn the language. If you know how to solve a cube, then you know the algorithm. So you have like, up, counterclockwise, right, counterclockwise, and you can start playing with. So that's just a very, very simple game. Just challenges. So you have all kind of. This, for example, just page of flags. So you need to make the flag of Japan. Okay, you need to. So my cube right now is like this one. These are all the white spaces, and this is the red one over here. And I need to make this. And once I make it, then I can, go to the next stage, the next level, etc. So these are all kind of just small, simple challenges you can play with. Again, you don't need to solve the entire cube. Just get practice with having one face, one side.
Wow, there's so much more there than I mean, I could see in the video that was going to be, games and put this piece here, but I did, it's like a mobile game, but you're playing it with your cube. It's like do this one, step 1, step 2, challenge here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's well, damn it! Now I'm even more excited and impatient. I want it now.
I'm so happy with this. Thank you.
Udi, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's a different time zone for you there. We made it work. I appreciate you being here on GenXGrownUp.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
It's our pleasure, and we look forward to the GoCube.
Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Subscribe to GenXGrownUp by clicking right here and enable notifications so you won't miss a thing. Use the comments down below to tell us what you think, and while you're there, a thumbs up would be great too. Please share this online wherever you hang out. Connect with GXG on social networks by clicking right here.
Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.